FOMO.
I don't think it's anyone else's business.
Are you really missing out? You're not.
You feed into it personally.
Come on now. Hey y'all, I'm Jazzy.
I'm Danny.
And this is Come On Now podcast.
Basically this is a podcast where we are going to talk about our lives as high school girls and just like what goes on in them and how to give advice.
Going into our senior year, we think that we have some pretty good experience overall. For girls going through the same things. I feel like everyone goes through the same struggles in high school. So
Definitely.
that's why we started this podcast. So how did we meet?
We met in chem class. First semester we sat with different people that kind of just like brought us together, and then second semester it was just us two, and we found ourselves talking the entire class period.
We didn't do our work.
No, we didn't do our work, but I still got an A. Did you get an A?
I got an
That's
A.
all that matters.
Yeah, so it works.
Yeah, basically we talked the entire class periods. And we just decided that our brains just like get along so well and that we think the same way.
Yeah.
And we figured that we should take our conversations and put them out into the world so that other people can hear our conversations.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of weird how like our conversations have gone from chemistry class to literally being filmed in my basement.
That is so true.
But man, so our first episode today is we're going to be talking about something that we think everyone deals with, which is FOMO, which is the fear of missing out if you don't know the acronym. But I think it's pretty straightforward.
I think this is a good way to start too, just because this applies to boys and girls. Like I know like not only girls go through this, you know, this is just like, and I'm sure it doesn't stop in high school.
Okay, so the first question I want to ask you is that we believe that one of the main causes of FOMO is snap maps.
Yeah.
So Danny, who do you have your snap maps on for, or do you even have them on in general?
I don't have my snap maps on for anybody right now, just because I don't think it's anyone else's business that they need to know where I am. And not only that, just like know when I'm active and like whatnot. But like my best friend has me find my iPhone, so it's like for safety, and my parents, so for safety reasons, like if I get lost or something like that, like she has me. But I don't know, I don't like it when like everybody can see when I'm at home or when I'm out, you know, and I'm like, I don't want to be like feeding into other people's FOMOs too.
True.
So who are your snap maps on for?
So I have mine on for I think 25 people, and I did have it on for a lot of people. Like when I first got Snapchat, I think I had it on for like all my friends.
Yeah, probably me too.
Then as I grew up, I realized I wanted it on for like a close circle. Like my family has it, my cousins, and then like my close friends. So like I have no issue with that, but I did like recently, I would say it was about February and January, I had to like really dial in my snap maps because I did get people texting me like weird texts. You know what I mean? Where
like
it's like
explain.
Like where it's like, you know when like people know what you're doing, but like they ask anyway.
Yeah.
But like then they get like, but then you're like, oh, I'm already out doing something, and then they like come to you after that being like, hey, like you could have invited me.
Yeah.
But like they knew you like felt like they were tracking you. So that's how I kind of felt about like certain things on. So for a while I had my snap maps completely off, and then recently I just turned them on because at this point I'm like, you know what, YOLO. Yeah. But I do think that snap maps causes FOMO because people can see where you're at.
Yeah, and then people see when other people are together, and it sucks to see. Like I've been on the other end where I'm kind of like, oh shoot, like I wish I was there.
Yeah.
And it's such an easy way. And I don't think we should have that access almost to be able to see where other people are.
Yeah.
And it just makes you feel worse about yourself because if you're home alone and you don't want to necessarily be, like the first thing you're going to go do is I'm going to go look at what everyone else is doing.
Exactly. It's so weird because like now you can like scroll and like oh my gosh, we didn't talk about this our first time we filmed this, but Snapchat Premium. Have you heard of that?
What can you do on that?
You can like track people and like where they've been.
Okay, yeah, Cindy was telling me about that.
Yeah, so like now, like so you have to buy it, but like you don't know people are buying it. Like now FOMO is probably going to increase because people are going to be so like into it, like about where people are at, and like FOMO is just gonna skyrocket. I mean, it's already in our generation specifically, it's insane, and I have FOMO,
right? So me too. Like I don't know, I just kind of think that there's no reason that Snap should have ever released that feature where like you can see where other people are, and it's like like not purposely to make other people feel left out, but that's the only thing that I get out of that. I feel like out of
like
Snap
no
maps.
positives.
No.
Maybe if like you're throwing a surprise birthday party for someone.
Yeah, but then you know how annoying that is. You have to turn your Snap maps off.
Exactly. You know what? Snapchat needs to have a literally a control where you can like turn it off where you can't see where people are at.
Yeah,
that would save me so much grace.
Me too.
Like, you know, I'd be like, I know what, I'm stalking this person, I'm just gonna turn it off so I can't see where they are.
But then it's like we'll have the willpower to like leave that, because that's another thing about FOMO is that like you feed into it personally. Like you're not the cause of it, obviously, but when you feel left out, you want to go more and see where people are.
That's so true.
And check people. So it's like the more lonely I'm feeling, maybe like the more I want to see where everyone else is at.
Interesting. And then we were talking about BeReal. That's like another form that people get FOMO now.
Because like because people do this thing too where they won't post right away, and they'll post when they're at the peak of their day. And I think that's stupid, because like obviously it's going to make other people who like, maybe someone did post like right when they were supposed to and they were laying in bed, you know?
Yeah.
And then someone waited until like the peak of their day to post, and someone was like, oh shoot.
Yeah.
So I think there should be a feature that's like within an hour you have to post. Otherwise the purpose of being real.
Yeah. No, that's true. But so like now, going off of like Snap Maps and BeReal, we have talked about like social media in general just plays a part in FOMO.
It does, absolutely.
Like we were talking about Snap stories.
Yeah. And like there's private stories too. So you can see even more of like private and like riskier stuff, you know, that's like going on at events that you're maybe not at.
Interesting. Or like when you see someone like 7 people post the same thing at the same event.
Yes.
And then it's like
I don't, and then you have to scroll through it 7 different times. I'm like, I already saw this in someone else's story. Like, you don't all need to be posting it. Yeah. And it's probably not even that funny. So I'm like, did I need to see this? Not really.
But then you get like FOMO from it.
Yeah. And it's stupid.
I think that one of the things that we talked about also is like FOMO, the fear of missing out, is like all mental.
It is mental.
It's like, because are you really missing out? You're not.
Also, like it's like it goes both ways almost. Like I could be feeling guilty because you're not there, but I posted on my story. You know, and
it does.
And
go
I'm
both
like,
ways.
oh, okay. Or like maybe I chose not to post on my story because I don't want you to have FOMO.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, okay. Like, you know, Jazzy has to come. Like, whatever. Yeah. The host didn't let her come because they're beefing or something like that. And then I'm like, oh, okay. Now, like, I feel guilt. But then, like, on the other end, you know, like, obviously Jazzy has FOMO.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's like, it's not intentional ever, you know. Like, obviously there are times where, you know, some mean people might purposely leave someone out, but a lot of the times it's not personal. And it's just like the way that things are.
Yeah.
But then the person that is out and about doesn't want to be held back, you know, because they're afraid of like making someone else feel left out.
True. You know, I've definitely been on both receiving ends. I've been on the end where it's like I'm at home and I want to be somewhere, but like I can't go.
Right.
Or when I'm out and someone has texted me, hey, like, can I come? And then there's like awkward things. Maybe it was like that person is not getting along with some person, and then it's like different group environments.
Yeah. And
it really is just interesting because there's so many different dynamics that go into like hanging out with your friends. You wouldn't think about it. Like, things cause like drama.
That everything does.
And and then drama leads to FOMO, and FOMO leads to more FOMO.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And another thing that we've talked about is like the size of friend groups, and that just like sometimes like there's always like cliques within friend groups, you know, like I think it's like hard to find a friend group that's like very equally balanced all the time. Yeah. But like there's going to be hangouts where like maybe not everyone in this friend group is going to be like invited or like, you know, welcome. And like, I don't know, like I'm in a pretty solid spot in my friend group right now, but I also understand how it does feel to kind of be on the outside of a friend group and like not always be invited.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, that creates a lot of issues too, you know, and like that makes you feel bad about yourself.
Yeah. I don't know. And like one of the big things that comes with like friend groups and group hangouts is holidays or vacations.
Yes.
We were talking about the 4th of July and everyone going up to Vail.
For some reason, everyone in Colorado goes up to Vail for the 4th of July.
I don't know why, but like
and it's like a new thing. I
think it's new, or it's when you get to high school. But then if you're not in Vail, you have FOMO because you feel like you should be in Vail. Yeah. But really, Vail's like, what's even going on in Vail?
Like, Jazzy, you stayed down here.
I did.
Like, talk about that.
So when I was down here, I mean, I was with my family, but like I was just like, I mean, I was talking to people who were in Vail, who were like back here, and there's definitely this like weird thing where it's like you want to like know what people are doing in Vail.
Yeah.
And that's like that FOMO part where it's like, wait, so I just want to make sure like Vail's
am I missing out on something?
Am I really missing out? Which you're not even missing out, because I really think that FOMO is just like you want to be not where the place is but where the people are.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's not even me wanting to go to Vail, it's me wanting to go where the people are.
Right? And then like going back to vacations too, like I'm always out of town for the 4th of July.
Yeah.
And so like on the 4th of July, you know, it's like that's like a holiday where I'm like, oh shoot, like I'm across the country right now, like missing out on these parties. Yeah. And I shouldn't be thinking like that, because I was with my family, it was great, I saw family I haven't seen in years.
Yes.
And then I went and watched fireworks on the beach.
That's so sick.
That's what I think too. But at the same time, like I was like, oh my God, like I wish I was with my friends, right? Like, and well, I don't know. This 4th of July specifically, my friends like got an Airbnb in the mountains and spent the night there. That sounds so fun, and I had to miss out on that. you know, but I'm also like, I should be grateful that I like got to go to Florida, you know, and spend my like vacation there.
It definitely does go both ways. Like I was just on vacation. I was just in Costa Rica and like I was having a great time, but like I would still check Snap Maps for some reason and see what people in Colorado are doing.
Like, how dare they hang out without me?
I know.
I'm in Costa Rica and they're hanging out.
It's literally like that. And there's like no reason for it to be. I think that FOMO, I want to say it's stupid, like, because I experienced it and I want to be like, man, I'm like mad at myself for experiencing it, but like it's also like it's a real thing, and it's like just like I don't know how to explain it. It's such a weird feeling.
It is a weird feeling, and it's just like it kind of makes you feel like lonely and sad, and but it's like not necessary at all.
Yeah. So like anyone, I think one of the things I want to like give advice just right in this point here is that when you're coming into high school, there's going to be so many different things and events. I really think that like you should never feel like you're missing out on something, because you're really not.
Yeah.
You're really not.
I know that's like, I know I tell myself that all the time too. It's like one of the reasons when I do get FOMO is, oh my God, like this event will never ever happen again. And like that is so not true, because it will. Like, unless it's like, okay, maybe like there is a rare occasion, like going up to the mountains, you know, for Vail. Like maybe I won't be able to do that next year, you know, and then I'm done with high school. So will I ever be able to get to do that in my life?
Yes.
I don't know, but that's just like one night out of like the entire year. So like at the end of the day, and like in a couple years when we're in college, me missing out on one group trip up to the mountains will not matter.
You're not going to think about it.
No, at all.
Exactly. So honestly, if it's like, maybe if you're like missing out on like a really big something for your life, but like
other than that, it's like, oh, is it just like a regular group hangout? Like, will you see these people tomorrow? Probably.
That's so true. So like you always want to like look at it that way.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's one of the I gotta stop saying like. I've said it like 50
we're trying
times.
To work on that.
We are trying to work on that.
We'll work on that. We'll get better at that.
But I think that one of the main advices we want to give is that like living a balanced lifestyle.
Jazzy's really good at this. I think Jazzy's one of the best people I know.
Oh, thank you.
Like Jazzy is totally okay with spending a night at home in her bed when she needs rest. And she will go to bed at 8:00.
I will.
She will be in bed at 8:00.
That is true. Like coming from my, like going throughout high school, I could say I was never like always like this. Like sometimes I really wanted to like, especially junior year, I had a time where I was like, I have to go out like constantly. But like learning to stay home and like maybe like 2 nights where I know I need to get rest, staying at home has helped me so much physically, mentally, and just helping my body.
Yeah.
And has helped my FOMO, because I really think you can feed into FOMO if you constantly going out and constantly doing things, and you're not going to be able to learn how to be with yourself.
Yeah, your body will tell you too. Like,
it will.
When you need a break. When we filmed our first episode, I was sick.
Yes.
So sick I couldn't speak. It like hurt to speak, and I kept making myself sicker because I refused to stay home. It was like it was prime grad party season. Like summer had just started, and I was like, I'm not staying home, and so I lost my voice. For like a full week.
Yeah.
And then like. And that could have been an easy fix if I spent a night or two at home. Easy fix. And I refused to. And like, I don't know. I was like bad. Why did I let myself get to that point? Yeah.
So I think our first advice is being able to stay at home, hang out with your family even. I don't know. Be able to like really just have alone time wherever that is. It doesn't have to be your home. It can be at a coffee shop. It can be just doing something that is a hobby, but not always like wasting your time with groups of people, because that's always fun. But it can get exhausting really quickly, and then it just feeds into this FOMO.
I think even something that does come out of FOMO is, or that we can take away, is that you don't always have to be with a group of people necessarily either. You know, like it is okay to spend a night with like 1 or 2 close friends. Like that doesn't mean that you're having a bad night, you know? You're just not like out having as much fun as like you have had like in past experiences, but you should still be able to like have fun with 2 or 3 friends. And make a good night out of it, instead of like sitting at home wishing you had better plans.
Or like one of my favorite things to do is get coffee with my friends, or like more like daytime activities. Right?
Yeah, because we have talked about this.
We have, like, we always think that like for some reason in high school everything like past 7 it gets really wild out. You know what I mean?
Like you want to find plans at 6 o'clock, but like why don't we have plans in the middle of the day?
Especially during summer.
Because it's like we have nothing better. Like it's like I know like a lot of people have jobs, but still, even like on days that you don't have jobs, or like I mean we all work like minimum wage jobs, so like I don't know, you don't work a 9 to 5, but like
so just take it off. Go on a hike, explore something new. That sounds like a Disney Channel commercial. Explore something new. 2% milk in your lunchbox. But I'm being honest. I love daytime activities.
Yeah, me too.
And then
you get to go home and sleep in your own bed.
And you feel like you accomplished something in that day.
Yeah.
No one wants to sit around all day.
No.
And then wait until 7 p.m. and then expect plans and then they just fall through.
And then what? And then you just wasted your whole day.
And then you're up at 1 a.m. and you got no sleep.
Yeah.
So don't do that.
So like, it's just literally our fault. So we need to just figure it out.
Yeah. So after a balanced lifetime, our second advice is you're just not missing out.
You're not missing out. No, I promise you, you're not. You will find a better, there will be another day. The sun will rise tomorrow.
I mean, the fear of missing out is so hypothetical.
It is. And you create it for yourself.
You really do.
And our third piece of advice is to not feed into it by checking social media.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, the lonelier you feel, I think the more you are provoked to check snap maps or BeReal or like go stalk this person somewhere, just like don't do it. Like I try not to post BeReals when I like know I'm gonna stay home that night, just because I'm like, okay, then I can go check everyone else's and see what they're doing.
Yeah.
And so like if that notification goes off at like 8 o'clock at night or whatever, I'm just like, okay, whatever. Like I won't post about it. Like, and it's fine. Then I won't have to. And not because I don't care what other people see I'm at home. More of just I don't want to see other people out. Having like the time of their life.
Yes, you have control over your phone and like social media in general.
So like use it to your advantage. And then like don't check people's snap maps too. Like if you or like especially if you know that there is something going on that you weren't invited to, don't check it more and just don't check how active they are. Like it does not matter. I promise you.
Don't check TikTok. Everyone's on TikTok now.
Like at least like your friend's page.
Yeah, read a book. People need to start reading books. Do I read a book?
I have been reading books.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I know. I'm
so
just
good.
Like, I know. Like when it's so basic of me. Like when I'm like canning.
Honestly, good for you.
I know.
Read a book. It's good for your brain and mind.
Yeah.
And our final piece of advice is hang around people and surround yourself with people who want to be with you most of the time. Like, I mean, of course, you're not going to be able to hang out with your friends every day, but don't
be with people that consistently are going to leave you out.
Yeah, that's not cool.
No.
Yeah, find better people. It's going to be hard. I'm not saying it's easy, but if you can get to that place where you have people who feed into your friendship as much as that you feed into theirs, you're just going to live a much happier life, high school, whatever you are in.
Yeah.
Man, okay, so that was our wrap up of our first episode. That was FOMO for you.
Yeah. Stay tuned for next episode. We are very excited to be starting this podcast.
Yeah, so thanks and tune in. You're going to have all of our subscription links down below, Instagram, TikTok, all of it. Yeah. So I'm Jazzy.
I'm Danny.
And this is a Come On Now podcast. Thank you.